2, 1. Awesome, and just to wrap up our album review is a little bit of Ethel Cain with Willoughby Tucker, I Will Always Love You. But before we do that, I guess I should say this is On Beat Off Script with another album review. My name's Brandito. I'm here with Mel and Incredibob. In case you're wondering, we do record all of these in succession, so even on YouTube, if you're watching just one of the videos, it technically had 2 other videos that we've been recording pretty much the whole way through. We just break them up so it's a little bit more palatable for you guys, and try our best to make it, smaller chunks as we do it. But so I accidentally kind of just blew a transition or an introduction of what we were doing. But yeah, so we're finishing up with our Spotlight album of this episode, which was one that I wasn't even going to add. But Mel is just a really big fan of Ethel Cain. Ethel Cain, who just dropped their album last week, Willoughby Tucker, I'll Always Love You.
You sound even sadder than Ethel Cain.
Yeah, because I'm just trying to get into the motif.
Are we not allowed to smile during the entire review?
Well, I think Ethel Cain will be mad at us for smiling even a little bit. So
fair.
That's, I guess the way that it's going to have to go. Who is Ethel Cain, you're asking, though? Of course I'll tell you. That is Hayden Anadonia, known by their stage name Ethel Cain, is an American singer-songwriter from Florida who's been active since 2017. She's played around with a lot of experimental-type music, starting in 2017 with some bedroom pop, but switching, names around with each project. She kind of never really stuck around to one name, really, ever. It wasn't until 2019 when Anadonia started recording as Ethel Cain, releasing her first EP, Carpet Bed, as well as her second EP, Golden Age, in the same year. In 2021, she started dropping her singles with Michelle Pfeiffer and followed up with Crush the same year. In 2022, she finally dropped her debut studio record, Preacher's Daughter, a spiritual and lyrical successor to the album that we're going to be covering today with Willoughby Tucker, to pretty solid critical success. Kind of cult success, one might even say. A lot of her followers are very much
insufferable.
Her followers and nobody else's. But with the drop of Preacher's Daughter, that ended up landing her some serious opening spots for Florence and the Machine and Caroline Polachek. Both obviously pretty large names in the folk, indie, whatever you want to try to describe it as, sphere. Finally, in 2025, she released an experimental drone project. Yeah, with Perverts, really as well as did a vinyl release, which apparently hadn't been done for Preacher's Daughter, which caused her to chart actually at number 10 in the Billboard 200 3 years after its initial release. Fun little fact there about that one. So Willoughby Tucker, I'll Always Love You, is her second studio album and meant to be part 3. Actually, I'm incorrect. I was corrected by Mel on this. Preacher's Daughter is meant to be part of a 3-part trilogy. Most trilogies are 3 parts. Felt a little bit redundant to say that. But this is actually the successor to the first part of the trilogy. So Mel described it as, this is the Hobbit of the Lord of the Rings. This is, although it came out after the Fellowship of the Ring and that kind of same mentality. So also an odd way to do it. Regardless, this is set to be centered on the character of Ethel Cain that Ethel Cain has created, and their teenage years and their romance with this character, Willoughby Tucker, whom A House in Nebraska from Preacher's Daughter was actually written about. So if you haven't listened to the story, maybe listen to this one first and then listen to the next one, and you'll understand the whole story of Ethel Cain. Or...
Nah, I think you gotta do it the original way.
Maybe.
So, Preacher's Daughter, like, the whole story of Preacher's Daughter is, like, she essentially runs away, and she runs away because she loses Willoughby Tucker, essentially. So I feel like, I don't know, there's like a... I don't know. I like doing Preacher's Daughter first.
Yes, because you've done it multiple times. So I'd love to ask. So, what were your thoughts before going into the track by track, Bob?
You're muted. Bob hates us.
I'm sorry. There was dog barking earlier, so I wanted to make sure I was off mic. I listened to we listened to Nettles a few weeks ago, and I liked Nettles a lot. I thought it was a very pretty song. So I had pretty high hopes, I think, coming into this this album. I again not a big fan of Ethel Cain, not because I don't like her, just I haven't heard a lot of her music. So yeah, I was cautiously optimistic coming into this. Absolutely.
Mel?
I was really excited for this album. Obviously,
Clearly.
it was a very highly anticipated release for me. It's like a modern day Southern Gothic Romeo and Juliet, and I love it.
And I wasn't as thrilled about the idea of it. Because Perverts was... Mel said that she liked it. I thought it was atrocious. It was brutal. Preacher's Daughter was definitely better. I was a bigger fan of Preacher's Daughter for sure. So, like, I had some hopes that it was still going to be better than Perverts. I didn't think this was going to be as bad as Perverts was. Perverts was just really not very good drone music. And for somebody brand new to drone music, awesome. Congratulations. Perverts maybe is perfect for you. Just because you like the name Ethel Cain on it. Otherwise, you wouldn't have cared about any drone music, which is also completely understandable. I've listened to enough drone music to say that was not very good drone music. So,
It was the first time I ever listened to drone music.
correct.
So I loved it.
So,
But
yeah. So, just know there's better out there. And
Yeah.
that's kind of all I'll say. And it's kind of something that ends up being a continuous thing that I say when it comes to Ethel Cain. That said, obviously she's good at writing stories, and let's just get into the album. How about
Yeah.
that? All right. So things start off with the track Janie. Let's go ahead and listen.
All right.
Please don't leave me. I'll always need more. Please leave open your most quiet door. I know she's your girl now, but she was my girl first. She was my girl first.
I love the hazy opening that like it turns into like that gentle guitar strumming. Really, really big fan. The opening line, "Hold me, smell of mildew, I want to die in this room," I thought was such like a heavy way to start, but it instantly was making me visualize her in like a dark, musty, decaying room. Like she's so tormented, she doesn't deserve to die in a more peaceful way. She also, her vocals, she just sounds like she's in so much pain. I think she does such a good job inflicting like that emotion. The dichotomy of like begging to die, but also begging them to stay. Like she doesn't know how to lose her best friend. She doesn't know how to live without her best friend. But I think it also just, it's like a story about like your first love, your first teenage love. And I think it shows just how immature and manipulative people are when they're first experiencing that first love. Like the emotions are just so big. It makes you so toxic. I loved this track. Great way to open it. Great way to open it.
I'm not going to have nearly the same insights as Mel will during this entire album. I haven't given this the proper, probably time it needs, for it to really sink in a lot of this. It starts off very slow. The tempo is just almost to the point of like, if you're not in the mood for this, it's draining almost how slow this is. That being said, it's very beautiful. The drone that happens there is just it pulls you in. The vocals are just incredible. I think that's obviously going to be Ethel Cain's one of the best things about the album is just her vocals are just so beautiful. But yeah, you just really have to be in a mood for this. And this song starts that mood, but I'm not I can't necessarily say I'm enjoying it yet, if that's fair.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair.
See, I feel if not for this song, this album tanks in how I rate it.
Really?
Yeah, this is
Interesting.
by like a super long shot my favorite on the album. So it started off really strong. It's really deconstructed. This is like not really folk, even in my opinion. I think this is post rock. Like this is really shoegazy. This is one where I actually feel like she's filling the space with those shoegaze noisescape stuff, with all of that kind of like with all of that extra kind of noise that doesn't exist throughout the rest of the album. I feel like the rest of the album really loses almost entirely on spots. And I think that this opening track is actually one that doesn't have that happen on it. And the atypical song format is remarkable. Her song structure is so unique, so completely different from anybody else in the way that they write music, to the point that like it's borderline poetry. Like it is really, really well put together there on that side of things. It gave me big like Cranberries vibes, like in terms of the way that it is stylistically. I love this. I'm a huge fan of it. I think this was the best song on the track. I think this was a really good space for her to work in. It's away from that country folk spot that I think that she has owned on previous records. Her one previous record, I guess I should say, that wasn't a drone album. But if the album, I genuinely put, if the album holds up with this, I could be a huge fan of it. Also, lyrically, it's beautiful. The
Stunning.
storytelling is masterclass. There's not really a song on here that I can't say that lyrically the song is that she misses a beat. It's her ability to tell a story is, again, masterclass. It's virtuosic, and that will be kind of what ends up coming to the forefront on almost all of my notes throughout this whole thing. We rate music, though, not poetry. So I have got to be realistic in terms of the way that I end up going with a lot of these reviews, because she's just missing a lot. And we're going to find out more about that. Especially when we get into... Remember how I talked about how remarkable her lyrics and her vocals are? And we all talked about that. Well, let's listen to... How long is this song?
4 minutes, 44 seconds.
Let's listen to 4 minutes of just instrumental, everybody, with Willoughby's theme.
Okay.
Whoa! Lot to break down there.
I like that she opens up with that heartbreaking song, and then she just makes us like shift to like full existential dread and makes us sit in it. Like she lost her best friend and now her world is literally over. But also, I also thought this was Perverts, but more approachable. I didn't think she made it as uncomfortable as she made Perverts. Shit, I'm forgetting what I was about to say. I had a note that I didn't write down. Oh, also, okay, so she's a horror girly. And there's not, this album isn't nearly as dark as Preacher's Daughter is. The themes of Preacher's Daughter gets really, really heavy, like even with cannibalism, everything, like the ending is wild there. So I think this is a really good way to remind the listener that like the story doesn't end well. It's almost like just alluding to, like, reminding you what happened and just like setting you up for like, this isn't going to be a happy album. I don't know. I liked it, but I don't have experience with drone music, so I can understand why people don't like it.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting instrumental at all. Again, no real Ethel Cain experience outside of Nettles. So when we had this one, and we get a couple more later spoilers, I honestly was pleasantly surprised. I like an instrumental. I do. This one, it almost feels like it's telling a story without the lyrics. It starts off very pretty. It gets devious and foreboding a bit, almost like some shit's going down. Then the end kind of trails off a bit. It's sad, but it almost feels a little hopeful as it starts to pick up. But I don't know. I was vibing with it. I'm learning very quickly with this album that this is more, for me, this is more like a background music album. I'm not really paying that much attention to it. It's more like on, and I'm just feeling the atmosphere. I'm feeling the mood of it.
Yeah,
And
she's setting the vibe.
in that regard, I think this album really does that very well, and we'll get more into it. But I don't know. I like this album, instrumental. It's fine for me.
It's it's so boring. This is
It's supposed to be, I
worst.
think.
I don't disagree with that. But
But like
Yeah.
so this isn't drone. This is not drone music.
It's just ambient.
This is soundscape.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I get it's a concept album, and like this is obviously very much the concept of it, but like it's bad soundscape in my opinion. It's boring. There's nothing there other than if you take this song away from anything else that is going on with the album, it's meaningless. It only works in the context of the album, which means that I think that I disagree with you entirely, Bob. You can't just have this on in the background. Which makes it really frustrating that they didn't find a way to make it more engaging, because you need to be engaged with the story of who Ethel Cain is in order to be able to have the appreciation for it if you listen to any other soundscape music. Like she is not Brian Eno. She is not Aphex Twin. This is boring soundscape.
I don't think she wants you to like it, though. Like, I really don't think she wants you to like it.
But, like, so putting somebody into a certain mood doesn't mean that you have to do it with very bare bones instrumental work. And that's what this is. It's very boring instrumentally. There's other ways, because again, Brian Eno has made really dark ambient music, but it requires more than just chord.
It is very repetitive, but
There's
I think
more. There's more that can there's more that kind of needs to be there for me to have really any appreciation for it. Right now, it feels like splashing something on a canvas and then saying art. And technically there's art that looks exactly like it. But there's something different about this. This feels like the splash on the canvas and being like, I make modern art. It's not.
I think Ethel or Hayden is a sadomasochist, and she literally wants us to fucking hate it. She wants to be like, haha, you love me, I made you listen to my album, but like, sit through this, fuck it. You know? I think she likes inflicting that like.
Okay, but she made it.
Ick.
But she's not inflicting ick then. She's not even necessarily doing that. All she's making
I
is
don't
bad
know.
music, and you're being like, it's bad, and it's like, okay, well, that was the intention. No, then it's bad music.
I derived different
liked
things out of it. I don't know. I got something completely different out of it. I derived different feelings from it during
just
different parts of the song.
but
I feel like
all
it's
it is
doing more
just-
than just.
It's just chord. There's
so many
so
things that
much
just
more
chord that-
dimension that she could have added to it that would have actually created more of that discomfort or that moment of awakening as Willoughby walks into her life after she just had the heartbreak of Janie leaving. I get where the story is, And I
Yeah.
feel like this didn't really push along the story either. And that's what was so frustrating to me about it. This doesn't do anything.
Well, I think it's like, I don't know. I think it does because, I mean, we know that he leaves. If you listen to Preacher's Daughter, you know their relationship doesn't work. You
Yeah.
know that he leaves. And I think, like, just opening up with Willoughby's, like, calling it Willoughby's theme, she's just, like, letting, I don't know. I do, like, it's like you said, it's foreboding. I think it's just, like, reminding you that she is about to find love, but it's not going to be a good love.
Yeah.
But
I don't know the story, and I still derive some stuff from it. So I think, in that regard, I think Brandito's incorrect. But that's for
It's just the most
music is
boring
like
way
that,
to
though.
do it.
But music is like that. I felt something completely different than
Dr.
you did.
Seuss trying to write the story when she's such a good
think so.
storyteller. The music, using the music to tell this story is, like I said, like Cat in the Hat style storytelling, because like it's just the most basic way to say, oh, this is Willoughby Tucker. It's foreboding that he exists in this story. Okay, cool. Sure, you derived the right thing from it. I'm not saying that it didn't derive the right thing, but there was just a way more impactful way to have created that soundscape, to create that way to move along the story, and she just took none of those efforts. It was just this.
I do think she's learning too, though. I do.
Sure, maybe.
I
And
don't
like,
know.
I do think that this is a better take than the way that she tried to move things along and tell a story in Perverts. So, like,
Yeah.
sure, I can understand learning, but like, I'm not going to give her good credit.
Yeah, I saw a lot of growth in her ambient noise in this album in comparison, and I liked Perverts, but it was just more because it was very radical to me. I hadn't experienced anything
It's
like it.
just so light years behind what's already out there. And I think that's
I
the
do think
important
so.
thing. And
Yeah.
like, there's so much more that she could have done to introduce Willoughby and all of the things that were to come with the still doing a soundscape track that weren't this.
Fair.
Right? There's so much more that could have been done with it. And again, if you're coming from a place where you haven't dove through all of Brian Eno and all of the things that they've done, or haven't listened to multiple Aphex Twin albums and the way that they tell a story using just noise, like, it's just there's so many bands that are out there that do something. I bring those two up specifically because I think those are two that immediately stand out to
masters.
me. They're masterful at it, and she's not a master.
Do you
she's not
ever
masterful at this.
sometimes wish that you were a little bit more naive in your music knowledge so you can just enjoy things more?
All the time? Every single
That's
day of
where
my
I
life.
come in, folks.
Every single day of my life.
I'm having
Here-
a good time.
That's me.
when people are just like, "Hey, do you ever listen to like X radio station?" I'm like, "Well, no." I'm like, but I would love to have the optimism that you do about listening to it. So tell me more. Tell me about Bruno Mars' newest single. Please.
I do that on the Track Attack.
I would love to hear it. Or like talking to like my friends, and they're just like, and like she'll like play like a Benson Boone song. I was golfing for the golf tournament with like my boss and my boss's wife, and Benson Boone came on, and she was just like, and I was like, "You're about to say that you love him? We can't have this conversation. Like, we can't do this." I already had the conversation with her about Taylor Swift, where I was rocking Taylor Swift all the way. So I'm like, "We can't do this. You're gonna fight me."
Yeah, it's like, just don't even say it.
please
I
don't
don't
say the
want to have
words.
this
Yeah.
argument with you. I'm not trying to lose my job.
Correct. 100%. But let's move on from Willoughby's theme, because we've got another instrumental that we need to deal with, but that's later on. Let's get into, which I might be wrong, but I did actually think that this was going to be Mel's favorite song, with Fuck Me Eyes. Let's play it.
She goes to church, straight from the clubs. They say she looks just like her mama. Before the drugs, she just laughs and says, I know. She really taught me well. She's no good at raising children, but she's good at raising hell. Her daddy keeps her in a box, but it's no good. The boys can't get enough of her and her. Honey, fuck me eyes.
It is one of my top tracks. It is not my favorite, but I understand why you would think it is, because I do really, really love it. Again, she's juggling those feelings of jealousy and pity, and just really putting you back into like the headspace of just a very immature teenager. Like, my heart breaks for her, or not for necessarily Ethel. I think she's talking about, I think the girl's name is Holly in this song, which I don't understand where fans are pulling that out from, because I don't know if they ever actually say the name Holly. But anyway, the 3 years undefeated as Miss Holiday Inn, I thought was such like a,
I like that line. Yeah.
Stabbing line. Really, really good. Boy, if you're not scared of Jesus, fuck around and come find out. Like, her storytelling abilities are incredible. Like, I already see the movie scene here. Like, I don't know. And her wailing on the no one ever wants to take her home part is just, the emotion she brings to that is top tier.
So she's saying she's a prostitute, or is she saying she's just like a slut?
So
or like,
this
what
is
do we...
about a girl named Holly who is basically like the town, I don't want to say town slut, but she like gets around, and
Sure.
she is so jealous of Willoughby potentially finding her more interesting or more attractive than she is, because this girl is like promiscuous and like willing to like put out, and Ethel's just not that.
Okay.
So it's like she's just jealous and like doesn't want her to or him to fall in love with her instead, basically. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
So yeah, it's just telling the story of this broken slutty girl.
Yeah. It's a bold name. It's a bold title name. It's a bold track name. I'll say
reminiscent of Betty Davis Eyes was the
of course. Obviously, it's very much for the story. Again, it's not really for me. Musically, it's so plain. I do appreciate her cadencism a lot with this. Like, her super unconventional song structure is something that I will say, like, musically, that's one thing that she does nail on, is on outside of the lyricism and her vocals. Obviously, she nails on song structure, because it's so unconventional, it's so unique, it's very much her, and it does help her with her storytelling ability. Lyrically, it's wonderful. Just musically, it's just so plain to me. There's not a whole lot there outside of what she's saying, which I get that and I love that. But I'm just not going to give it the credit that other people are going to give it, because of how inspiring the words are behind it. It's...
I agree with Brandito on this one musically. This one didn't do a lot for me. Lyrically, great. I wasn't clear on the prostitute thing. Thank you for clearing that up. But yeah, I do, and I love the line 3 years undefeated as Miss Holiday, and I did write that down. But yeah, that's like for me. It's not not my favorite track.
Cool.
Understandable. I get it.
And then we get into Nettles, which we covered in episode 11 of the Track Attacks. We didn't grab a clip of it because we did already cover it. So if you want to hear a clip of it, either play it yourself or check it out on episode 11 of our Track Attack. But yeah, it's an 8-minute song. Yeah. And so I wrote that I'm just going to rewrite what I already said about it. So I just copy and pasted from before. I literally copy and pasted. So I said, so a single from the album, 3 in the trilogy, 8 minutes long of more Ethel Cain, and starting off very drone-songy. Okay, let's buckle up. Then it got a little bit less drony, a lot more kind of Americana folksy, which I appreciated a lot. The light touch of mandolin was really creating a nice vibe there, so she was actually doing something to fill the space. This next album is clearly going to be a lot less experimental than Perverts. Turns out we were right there. The intro of the drums midway through the track gives it a little bit more of a kind of growing dimension. Really pretty song. I thought it was long, but I think it needed that time to be able to get there. And that doesn't hurt it too egregiously. And then I wrote This Was Me. I was a fan of it then. I'm a fan of it now. It's solid.
Yeah. I was obsessed with it, still obsessed with it. I loved the buildup of it. I was really pumped about that song. It's still a top track for me.
Yeah. So again, with every Ethel Cain song, you have to be in the mood for it, I think. That being said, I rated it high last time. I do think with Ethel Cain songs in particular, for me, the longer songs don't feel long to me. Like, it just feels like it flows so well. And Nettles is one of those songs that does that really well. It never felt like 8 minutes to me. It didn't again on this re-listen of it. So,
I do agree that it does a good job of filling that space to make an 8-minute song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it.
And that takes us over to another song that I didn't grab a clip for.
Because you hate it, it's fine. I have a lot to say about this one.
Willoughby's Interlude. It's another instrumental. It's so similar. I could just play Willoughby's theme again.
No.
If you want, because
No. This is rainy, and it's rainy for a reason. So it's like super hazy, eerie, but rain-like. And as we find out in Tempest, Willoughby's biggest fear is rain. So so she's trying to evoke that fear already. And so I put like the ending line on Nettles is to love me is to suffer. And now she's literally making us sit in that again. So it's like super, super intentional with its placement. The vibe I got was I feel like I'm home alone at night during a storm. And at first I'm fine and I'm chilling. But all of a sudden I get the gut feeling like I'm being watched. And I need to run around the house to make sure all the windows are locked and curtains are shut. But I'm too afraid to see somebody standing in my window. So I refuse to get up and I'm frozen to my couch. It's exactly the feeling that it put me in, which was spot on to what she was going for. As we find out from Tempest. So I'll fucking fight you, bro. I actually also put, you're not going to agree with this take at all, but I thought this was so much better done than Perverts, and I put Perverts Walk so Willoughby's interlude can run.
Wow.
I saw so much growth in this song from her. I loved it. Well, I mean, loved it as much as you can a musical interlude.
Yeah. I wrote down this is very atmospheric. I also, funny you mentioned the rain. I wrote down it feels like I'm watching rain drops outside. It's pretty. It's this one. I liked Willoughby's theme more than this one. This one felt like it. This one felt like it went a little too long for me. If I, part of it kind of feels like it could be, parts of it feels like it could be part of like a Tool or Opeth song where without the progressive metal piece where it's just like the instrumentals and the atmospheric stuff that they do. But yeah, it's fine. I had this on in the background and I was just playing World of Warcraft at the time. So I listened to it. I was like, okay, it kind of fit, but you know.
Yeah, she wanted you to be afraid of the rain like Willoughby.
It's another instrumental. She's so good at telling stories. She's so good at it.
Yeah.
I know.
And then she keeps trying this experimental, instrumental only way of telling the story, but it's not her strong suit. She's not instrumentally that good. And it's frustrating that she keeps trying at it when so much good is happening behind it. I genuinely think that she needs a producer to assist her on the musical portion of it. And I think that's one thing. She is her own label, which is her own production and all of that kind of stuff, which is part of, obviously, everything else. I think that that's what's hurting her in my brain is she's trying to do it all herself, which is awesome. That's fantastic. But I don't think she has the skill set in terms of how she's creating all of these backtracks and the instrumentation that I think she needs to have just somebody to come and help out with that portion of it because she has all of the talent in the world. And I literally wrote that this song is obnoxious to me. It is frustrating. I am beyond annoyed. Lyrically and story-wise, she's unbelievable. She's maybe one of the best artists that are out there currently.
I do agree
to give
that
us just an instrumental, I'm like, piss off, dude. Like, give us music.
I do agree that she's probably stunting herself by trying to take on everything herself. And I do feel that's probably maybe a control freak issue. I could see her being the type of not wanting anybody to touch her art because it's her art. And she's just, I mean, she's a very peculiar person. And I do think if she was to get some outside help on this, it would take it to a completely different level. But it doesn't infuriate me the way it infuriates you. I still enjoyed it, but that's probably my ears are more naive than yours.
It's just so much potential. It's so much potential.
I get it.
And it's just keeps leaving it on the table. I'm like, oh, just let somebody else come in. And like I said, just do what you're going to do and then hand it off to somebody to give it a breeze through and just say, here's the thing. Brian Eno would work on something like this. I can almost guarantee you. Brian Eno will work on everybody's everything. That's what Brian Eno does. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's people out there that would do that.
Yeah.
So it's just heartbreaking to see, like, so much space left on
I get it.
Left in the dust.
I respect the take because I get it. I'm just not as critical as you. So it's like it doesn't bother me.
100%. But
Well,
speaking
you
of
enjoy the mood it puts you in.
leaving
Sorry.
things in the
Yeah,
dust,
it puts me in the atmospheric space that she wants.
And then
me to
when
be
you're in it,
so.
it's much more enjoyable, and that's kind of what I experienced towards the end of the album. But yeah, go ahead.
speaking of
Sorry.
leaving it in the dust, here's Dust Bowl.
There we go.
Let's listen to this.
walked down, you were singing. You tried to wait in 'cause you wanted just to tell me who you
This was my favorite track.
Really?
So I loved
Interesting.
the song so much. So again, I thought Willoughby's interlude was perfectly placed because we get the introduction to Willoughby here. Pretty boy scared of the rain. It's just explaining why she was doing that rain thing. I did really enjoy the transition from the interlude into this song. The line grew apart, fell off harder. I thought was so spot on. And that drop after she sings like the stuff your daddy smoked in Vietnam, that drop for me is everything. I loved it so much. Like it was so slow and not nearly as explosive as some of her past stuff, but like her holding back actually made it even better for me. And it just like, I don't know, there was just this constant feeling of longing. And she just, again, she embodies the pain of your first love so well in this. And I loved it. I loved it so much.
Yeah. For me, this re-listen of it confirmed it for me. Like I actively felt myself getting tired while listening to it.
I
actively felt a wave of fatigue hit me because it's so the bass is so deep and so slow, and it just the tempo is just it makes me sleepy.
Non-existent.
It literally makes me like I'm sitting here like losing energy because I'm listening to the song. I don't dislike it, but it is actively making me tired. What do you think, Brandon?
So I like that we have lyrics again. That's awesome. Please give me no more instrumentals. That's all I wanted. I do like that this is again more of a shoegazy post rock kind of moment on it, and I do like that part. This is the kind of version of her that I do like, and her storytelling is once again impeccable. It's remarkable. It's perfect. Yeah, this is a cool album for the reason that I like these post rock spots. It feels entertaining. You go through 6 minutes of a song for the most part. It's just these, she still has these reprieves where they're just kind of atmospheric throughout the song. I'm like, it didn't need to be 6 minutes. You just cut those down a little bit and keep telling me story. Keep talking to me. Keep giving me more. Because you're not filling that space with something that's generating more emotion than where you left things off on the last note, right? All you're doing is just letting it stew in that for a couple of moments, which I get that in some circumstances, but it feels like every time we get a break, it's just to let us stew in what she had just finished. And I don't need that amount of time to be able to feel that emotion that she brings out
digest it.
because she's so good at doing that in the first place. I don't need you to make me sit in it. You do a good enough job of making me feel that without making me have to feel and sit on it for enough time to feel something. You can nail that off the first go. That's how good she is at this.
Fair.
So it's just really difficult for me to get through, and like it's just because of how dramatically worse her instrumentals are. They don't engage, they don't create anything more than what she's already created with her lyricism and her voice and everything else. It's just
Fair.
Yeah. I'm getting really frustrated to say the least. Like this is I'm very annoyed. We do get a little bit of older Ethel on this next track with a knock at the door. Let's give it a listen.
Yeah.
Never need to call my name. Though I love it all the same. I know you, but you're not going I know you, but your footsteps on the floor.
She sounds so scared and so raw. She doesn't even sound like herself in this one, which I thought was so impressive. The line Satan's in the state pen and you're not scared of no knock on the doors. Again, gut wrenching. Like, I can't even imagine growing up in a home where you have to learn to tell somebody's footsteps apart to figure out if you're in danger or not. So just to get like the backstory on Willoughby there and like how traumatized he also is, like, I just want to like hold them. They're just like so damaged and so broken, these poor little teens that are in love with each other, and I just like my heart just breaks for them. I don't know. So emotional.
Yeah. I mean, this is another song. I think the rest of the album kind of falls under this, is like, if you're either in the mood at this point or you're not for this type of music. Like if you're I'm kind of out of it now because we're talking and we're going between songs. I think I enjoyed it a lot more with a straight up album listen. Without stopping and just having it on. I enjoyed a lot more as I go into each song and hearing samples. Now I'm not enjoying it nearly as much, and
You're not supposed to just listen to Ethel Cain
Yeah.
by sound samples. Is the
absolutely, and I agree. And that's why I'm saying it that way.
Yeah.
It's like so like I didn't write any notes on this song. I didn't have nothing really stood out to me on this one. It was part of the drone that I felt, and I was on that wave, and I enjoyed that when it happened, but I didn't. Like I was just out of it. Like I'm sleepy. I'm floating. Like I am. It's doing those things to me, which is a credit to it because I think that's what it wants. But I don't have a lot to say about it this time.
Yeah.
Other than that,
So obviously this is a lot more acoustic, a lot more folky, which is more reminiscent of more of her previous stuff, which I can appreciate because it broke up the monotony of a lot of the other stuff that was kind of going on. This is a really pretty folk track, in my opinion. I think the penetration of the strings were so important because of how monotonous all of these other tracks have really been. This is the kind of track that does show off like a lot more skill instrumentally. It maintains the lyrical component that she's really powerful with. But then she does something.
Oh no.
For 2 minutes, it turns again into a giant break of dead air and just does it again. It takes away her best quality, which is her songwriting and her lyricism, to show off her least strong quality, which is just instrumentation, for like another 2 minutes on a track where I'm like, I could really get into this one. This one I can appreciate a lot. It shows off her best quality of her lyricism, but also gives you a little bit more instrumentally. And then she just took it all away at the very end. I'm like, no. No, why do we do this? And this is before we're about to hit another 10-minute and then a 15-minute track. I'm like, I'm like, I just wanted to turn it off now. I just wanted to turn it off because of this.
I'm so not having the same experience.
yeah.
Oh, just another.
listened to
It's
this
just
And I
another
wasn't
2
at the
minutes
same
of
time.
atmospheric music. I'm like, why? This was totally fine until you added 2 minutes of atmospheric because you want us to sit in something that you so beautifully create, no matter what. You doing what you do best creates that. You don't need to make people sit for 2 minutes and be like, they're not quite fully understanding it yet. No, we fucking are. So stop showing off your worst attributes. Being
How is she
like,
supposed
this
to
is
get
part
better
of
if
the
she
art.
doesn't do it?
It's not. What's that?
How is she supposed to get better if she doesn't keep trying?
Maybe don't. You know? She does it so perfectly without needing to do that. So maybe don't. I don't know. Just an idea.
Alright. Just
That's
an
okay.
idea.
That's okay. If you actually just
There's
lyrically
the atmosphere adds so much for me. Like it really does just put
and when
you
it's
in
playing
that
as a backtrack to her lyricism and her vocals, for sure. But when it turns into just 2 minutes of the same thing over and over again and just chord, I know that she's trying to create the atmosphere, but she already did that. That was already the backtrack to really good lyricism and amazing storytelling.
Okay.
Right?
Fair. I get it.
We don't need all of these continuous big gaps that we need to sit in so that we can feel the way that you tried to design. You've already designed that when you were doing the initial part of the song. We don't need 2 more minutes of it. You were good. We get the way that you're hurting. We get the way that you're making us feel. Like, that's very, very clear and concise. I don't need you to do it to me for 2 more minutes.
I'm on both your sides on this completely because I totally get your take and I agree with it in this moment. But when I'm in that mood, I'm on Mel's side where I'm like, I love to just sit and steep in it. Like, so
well,
I
you're playing
get
World
both
of
sides
Warcraft
here.
as you
Right,
so casually made sure that everybody was aware of.
Absolutely.
That's what I mean, is because it didn't need to be there. Because
nice.
I started doing other things too. I stopped writing notes entirely because I'm like, what else am I going to say? There's nothing new for me to actually bring up at this point.
But I think it's okay to have music like that, though. Like, maybe that's not what we're looking for, like, all the time. But, like, in that, for that specific situation, for that to feel the emotions that Mel's clearly feeling, like, I think that's okay. And I think that's what she's going for.
I don't want to rush through it. Like, this is an album I'm okay with being, like, an hour and 15 minutes long because it's... If you're not... you have to take... I don't know. It's just, I think it's meant to take time, and I like being there. I like having the full experience of it. I'm okay with it.
I just think if you're musically going to, yeah, sure. But like in that same round, then I'd rather it just be atmospheric. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But you didn't like perverts, so that's not true.
No, you're right, because that was not very good atmospheric. Because that's the other part too, is then when it's very plain Jane and it's not, again, it doesn't add to the song for me. It's 2 minutes that adds nothing. Yeah. Right? So yeah, if you want to just listen to it for another 2 minutes, then that's totally fine. But I'm going to be upset about it because I don't want to spend an extra 2 minutes just sitting in that. That's tough. That's a lot to go through.
I like sitting in it. I don't.
Yeah, I don't disagree at all. Yeah. Like I said, I feel both sides. I really do. Yeah. I'm very neutral here.
Speaking of, let's sit in it for 10 minutes. Let's go.
Only 5.
So genuinely, so I do want to say Radio Towers is the next clip. I actually didn't write the end of the clip because I didn't know where to stop the clip because so much of this song is just nothing burgers. The whole way.
So then why did I clip?
I just typed in a random time.
Oh, I was like, how did I?
I don't know where this is going to end. This could end like actually a middle. There is actual lyrics on this, so like there is something to still go with, which means that this could be a weird abrupt stop and sound really odd. But I was just like, I'm not going to re-listen through any more of that to try to get where an end stamp should be. So here you go. Here's Radio Towers.
So the one thing I did like about it is I just really like how that slow and steady beep like could be confused as like a radio tower signal, but it's like so reminiscent of a hospital monitor that it's I like the foreshadowing of death that happens here and just like
for sure.
Yeah. So that I enjoyed a lot, but I don't have much else to say about this track at all.
Yeah. Of the 3 instrumentals, this was my favorite one.
This is the best one.
I was also
100%.
I was floating. I literally wrote down I'm floating right now, and it wasn't high. I was like having some,
This was by far the best example of atmospheric music that she's put throughout the whole album. That includes the weird 2-minute reprieves that she puts on songs and stuff like that. This was really solid atmospheric music.
Solid.
I'll say it's solid. It's not like I'm not going to say it's great.
I'll take solid, man.
It's solid. This is solid atmospheric music, and that's just where I'm like, okay, cool. Like there is something here still.
She's learning.
Where's the difference for you? Is it like the progression of?
It's the way that the progression is, but also just so you're getting multiple levels of the soundscape kind of at any point. I find most of what she's done with most of her instrumentals are 2 layers. You've got a bottom line, and you've got a little bit of a higher round, higher round, right? And those basically hit at the same time over and over again throughout the entirety of the track. And that's something that happened on the first 2. It's the same thing. I can tell when it's going to happen. It's going to go boom, and then it's going to hold that for however many bars, and then it's going to go boom, and it's going to hold that. Maybe a little bit of a different chord. It's going to adjust a little bit, and it's going to do that over and over again. This, at least when it hit, you had a little bit of the flourish of some other notes that are coming through with everything. You have that beeping that's going on in the background of it that I thought was really penetrating and really unique. I like that a lot. Like, there's other things that are coming through the soundscape.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
That's the frustration. So that's why I say this one is better than the other ones. And you create
it's almost too repetitive in the past ones of it's just predictable and you know exactly what's going to just keep repeating.
Exactly. I want there to be some sort of surprise because it's supposed to sound very natural and very organic. And if you think that organic is always going to be at the same time, same kind of progression, that doesn't feel organic anymore. This felt organic where you saw a breakup of some other movement throughout the piece. Those other 2 didn't have that.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense to me, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Radio Tower's favorite of the instrumentals. Now, she still has a ton of work to do in terms of being able to do good instrumental music, but that's my take on all of them.
She's learning.
She is learning, so awesome. She really makes you sit in it while she's going through it, you know? It's like going to, like, your kid's, recital, and you're like, oh, like, I know this is bad. I've listened to them practice it for a long time, so I know this is going to be bad, but I'm proud of them.
That's my boy. Or my girl.
So then we get to Tempest, which is the 10-minute track, but it's not just an instrumental track, which was genuinely my single. So Willoughby Tucker is terrified of rain. I'm terrified of this potentially being just an instrumental track when I'm looking at the time on it. I'm so nervous.
That's your Tempest.
But let's listen to a little bit of Tempest.
That line is so intense. Like, do you swing from your neck with the hope someone cares? This was another top track for me, and I'm afraid you're gonna roast it. I thought there was another perfect transition from Radio Tower into this one. This song is the only song from Willoughby's perspective, which I find really, really interesting. Like the build up and ethereal switch in her vocals for the I Still Dream of Violence was so stand out to me. The guitar at the end I thought was stunning. That super abrupt ending almost made it feel like it was like the death of Willoughby, which I really, really appreciated. I really liked this track.
Yeah.
Radio Towers went right into this, which was a really cool transition. I love how it starts getting more frenetic and more, it gets harder as the song goes on. And I think this is probably my favorite one on the album. It really is. I like this one a lot. This and Waco, Texas, which we're going to go into, I think made the album for me. It's 25 minutes of music, which is crazy. But as I said earlier, 25 minutes of Ethel Cain music doesn't feel like 25 minutes. But starting with Tempest, I really like this.
I don't know. Depends on which Ethel Cain music you're listening to.
Sure.
Sorry, an hour and a half of perverts felt like an hour and fucking 3 days.
Fair.
Anyways, so Tempest. So it's a 10-minute track. Again, I'm terrified about it being instrumental. There's still so much air on this. Like, so much air. I don't think she's a good atmospheric artist. It feels like she's trying to make an atmospheric album, which she already tried once, although that's more drone. It's really frustrating because it's just not what I want from her. She's so good at something so different. When it starts to have consistent vocals, it's amazing. When it doesn't, it's just... The people that love it, I know that they love it, and they probably don't listen to a lot of other atmospheric music, and that's okay. That's understandable. This one, I felt, was still a better atmospheric track than some of the other ones. So, like, not quite as good as Radio Towers. It still just feels repetitive, kind of over and over again. It lost the vibe that Radio Towers was giving me with these extra little flourishes. It's something to break up and create that landscape, that soundscape of noise. It was still lacking. You had that little bit of electric guitar, though, that I can appreciate, that kind of popped in through and gave like a couple of twangs and gave it a little bit of off-pulse kind of movement. So I did appreciate that a lot. So like there was good things still showing through, but just it was 3 minutes to the very end, too, again, of just okay atmospheric music, and I didn't need it. I need something else from her. I need the lyrics. I need the vocals. I need all of the things that she's so impressive with, right? Not everything turns into art, and this is... The last 3 minutes, I don't feel are the art that she thinks that it is, and it's frustrating for me because she's an incredible artist.
I don't know. I really
wouldn't
really
ask-
liked this track. I thought this was the big what's
Lebowski.
the big Lebowski? Why am I blanking on the
Also
on
art, not atmosphere.
No.
Climax?
climax? Thank you. I'm like, why? It's a simple fucking basic word
Lebowski
of
better.
story structure. But yeah, I thought this was like the big climax, and I really like how it did kind of. I don't know. I really liked it. Really liked it. Poor Willoughby's just he's just abandoned and left on his own, and it's just this is such a big turning point, and I really liked it.
I don't need, you do art, Mel. I don't need Jackson Pollock's
I do a very different
interpretation
kind
of
of
Bugs
art.
Bunny. You know what I mean? Like it's that's how I feel about this. Is an incredible artist doing a style that I love. It just
Not
doesn't
well, in your
need to
opinion,
be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It just doesn't need to be.
I like it.
3 minutes too long.
Fair.
I like it too.
Right.
I'm with you, Mel.
I
I liked the end of it
There's
too.
easily 20 minutes that I could have shaved off this album. Like that.
I
would
think
have
I
been
agree with that
completely
with some of the earlier songs, I think.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Okay, but let's go into the longest of all of them. Waco, Texas.
Heck you, Texas. Yeah.
Let's just listen. This is 15 minutes, so yeah. Regardless,
Yeah, how do you
it's
review 15 minutes?
How much of a cruel year can you call my fault? Not even the memories are immortal. Terrified on this side of a conversation. A conversation we'll never come back from. I'll never live it down if I never get around it. 'Cause goddamn it, I did it to myself and I'm sorry.
So it's a super slow burn, but I really loved it. I love the addition of the drums as it progresses.
That
the
is a
line
nice touch. That's another layer to the soundscape.
I'm starting to I'm understanding where you're coming from. I'm learning. I'm getting it, but it just like it earlier. It just I don't pick
musicality
up on
and
that.
how you feel
That's
about it are
something
two
that
different
genuinely
things.
I wish I could have explained to you like beforehand, so we weren't fighting about them. Because I feel like
Well,
you
the
would look at the
second
whole album a little bit weird, and you'd be like, "Oh, okay, I kind of get
So
that a little bit."
now
more.
that you've explained the difference in Radio Tower, because I wasn't expecting you to like Radio Towers either. At least like not
course.
that you
Yeah.
liked it, but like you.
It's better. It's a better
yeah.
showing of that kind of vibe.
So now that I have a comparison, at least in an album that I'm familiar with of what you're talking about, I do want. I'm obviously going to re-listen to this album a million times anyway, but I'm excited to go back and re-listen to the earlier stuff to understand better what you're saying. Do you get what like?
For
so
sure.
I am excited to like have a new take on it. But yeah, I love the line, like, I've been picking names for our children. You've been wondering how you're going to feed them. Love is not enough in this world. Like, Ethel is just, she's been, like, daydreaming of a better future and that house in Nebraska. And Willoughby is just, like, he's too damaged to dream. And he's just thinking so realistically. And I think it just shows so well how this relationship was doomed from the start. It was never going to work. These are two very, very troubled people, and she's looking at him to fix her, and he just can't. He needs to be fixed himself. Her vocals are just so sweet at times. I loved how we closed out. It was just such a perfect ending for a sad story, but the storytelling was perfect. It all came together for me. I loved it so much.
Yeah, I think that this is a beautiful way to end the album. I think, again, those 25 minutes make the album really for me. I didn't think it didn't feel like 15 minutes. I looked over and it's moving on to the next album already. I'm like, oh shit, I guess we're done. Yeah, because I was just in that mood, and I'm gonna keep harping on that because that's what this is all about for me. It's a very mood inducing album, and I think that's where the appreciation lies. Like, otherwise, it's hard to appreciate like what's happening here in a lot of ways. But yeah, I don't have a lot to say lyrically. At this point, I was kind of tuned out lyrically, to be honest with you, which kind of says something musically. Like, I enjoyed it musically, didn't need the lyrics, didn't need the story.
Yeah.
I just was enjoying my time with it.
I think you were understanding the resolution, at least. Like, you were getting it, even if you're not paying attention to the lyrics.
It was sad.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all I needed.
She's heartbroken.
So I stopped taking my notes down after 6 minutes in because I was like, all I'm going to do
That's
is
fair.
just
Yeah.
complain. All I did was ask, I was like, please be a vocal heavy song, please. It is, which,
For most of it, yeah.
thank God. It's got these super shoegazy guitars, which I liked a lot. It's got a really nice lyrical component, obviously. It makes the 15 minutes so much more palatable. But again, it's brilliant lyrically. The song structure is super creative, incredibly unique. I love it so much on that side of things. But you just get these big empty pockets of really mediocre atmospheric indie rock, and it's just not hitting. Like, I will say indie rock on this one, it starts to feel more indie on this because, again, you're starting to get the electric guitar, that kind of stuff in, which it was appreciated. So still better than especially both the Willoughby's theme and interlude and everything like that, which was nice. It just wasn't hitting. It detracts from the album so much for me. And like I said, I had 9 more minutes left to go when I finished saying that.
Yeah.
And it didn't change. I could not find another note other than stop making me sit in these moments with not really a whole lot of development of anything else. After you do such a good job of already putting me in the headspace that I think you're leaving the time and space for. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it takes away so much from the track and so much from the album.
I don't know. I didn't want it to end. Like, the fact that I got to the end of this album and I was just ready to listen to it again because I was just in. I was in the right headspace. I was really, really enjoying the atmosphere of it. It didn't drag for me once.
I don't want the atmosphere to end. That's not what I'm saying. I want her to stop putting these atmospheric breaks in between everything because I don't need you to create more atmosphere. You already do that. I'd way rather if
Yeah.
this was a 40 to 50-minute album and re-listen to it 3 times. And I would like that more.
I get that take.
Because
I
the
like-
atmosphere is real. I agree with the atmosphere being awesome. The atmosphere is great. Is she atmospherically the most creative? No, but because of everything else that she does when she makes music, it creates that atmosphere organically. She doesn't need to force people to sit in it and then, like I said, create kind of this weird, not very good atmospheric music. It's those big pockets that if they were gone, I would re-listen to this album multiple times over in a heartbeat. I love the atmosphere, and I agree with you, the atmosphere is awesome. But just forcing me and being like, I'm going to show you how to create the atmosphere. No, you already did it.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Don't make me don't make me
I just
sit
like.
in it.
I think I just don't want it to end. So I just like literally didn't want it
you're
to
enjoying
end.
those
But then
pieces.
re-listen
Yeah.
to the song, play it on repeat. That's what
I
my
have.
that's-
The amount of times I've re-listened to this
Right.
entire album is insane.
right, especially for an hour and 15 minutes. I'm saying I would probably do the same thing
Yeah.
if
Okay.
you didn't have
Okay.
these big deep pockets.
Okay.
Right?
I get it. I get it.
But anyways,
So, wow. How do we... That's the end of the album.
that
Yeah.
wraps
Through
up
it.
the album.
In less than 15 minutes, we got through that last part. Look it up. That's how you wrap up an album.
No doubt. No
What do you
doubt.
guys think? Mel, do you want to be last since you probably have the most thoughts on this?
No, because I said most of them. I'm pretty.
Yeah.
I'm pretty.
Okay.
Like my overall notes are just like Ethel is a master storyteller. If you aren't taking the time to fully submerge yourself into the experience, you're doing it a great disservice. This isn't just music that you should just put on to put on. Like you need to just literally submit yourself to it. Like I said, I love the modern day like Romeo and Juliet vibe. Like it's just so tragic. They're so broken, and it's just, I think what she does really well, and it could have gone terribly wrong, is for an adult to sing about or to just create a story in the headspace of a teen, I think can get really tacky and really weird really quick. And I think she did it in such like a beautiful way. And yeah, it just like really, really sat well with me a lot. I was a huge fan. I think there's a lot of growth from her previous stuff. Like this is night and day from Preacher. I really liked Preacher's Daughter, and I thought this was like way.
I do like this more than Preacher's Daughter
Like,
as well. I will say
the growth and the
100%.
maturity she showed in here, I really, really appreciated. I wasn't expecting to like appreciate it so much more.
yeah.
And my rating's an 8/8. I really, really liked it.
All right. I've already talked about my love for long and mood-setting songs. Huge Opeth fan, huge Tool fan. As beautiful as these songs are, I mentioned already, they make me sleepy. Like if I want very chill, low-key, ambient background music going on with super sad white girl lyrics, like I'm going Ethel Cain. If Noah
How
Cyrus
often
isn't
do
available,
you want that?
Not very often.
Yeah,
That's not a thing
cool.
that I go for very often.
Just
Yeah,
wanted
it's
to
not
make
my
sure.
thing.
I'm rubbing off on him, maybe.
Yeah. But it's so hard not to compare this to Noah Cyrus since we just did her last month, and that she's also in the same kind of vein. I think this is, of course, we're trying to be more atmospheric than Noah Cyrus was, but Noah, I thought, did so good with her album, and this one, while it hit for me in a lot of ways, the ways I've mentioned already, it's not something I think I'll revisit like I would the Noah Cyrus album, as much, if at all, honestly. It's kind of like cold porridge, this album, and I like it when I'm hungry. I'll eat it, but
Gross.
it's as Mel eats cold porridge.
It's the only thing I've had to eat all day.
Yeah.
I'm slowly working through it.
I'm with Mel in that I thought the ambient pieces, the atmospheric pieces were good, but you have to be in the mood for them. I'm also in Brandito's camp where they're not good because they're too long and they don't deserve to be there. I'm weird with this one, but I gave this a 7.7. That's what I
Okay.
gave this.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in a love-hate relationship with this album. I'm infatuated with the lyricism and the storytelling. It's incredible. The song structures are unique and brilliantly crafted. There's so much that's so remarkable about it that it really hurts me to say what I dislike about it. But it's so empty. She leaves such like massive pockets of space and like shows off like what, in my opinion, her weakness is, which is this very basic, pretty, but musically simple and dry atmospheric spots, which are reminiscent of the Drone album that she released in January. So, like, it was doing all of the things that I was worried about, but, like, so many other things that were so incredible, which is, it's a really conflicting album for me that way. If you love this, I understand it. All I can say is that there are incredible soundscape atmospheric albums that I would really love for you to listen, because I think it puts those moments in this album to shame. It's like, you will understand my frustration when you hear really like the best of the best at this atmospheric music. When you hear them, you're going to understand what I mean by what I'm saying. You're going to go, oh, like, I get it now. That was really amateur style soundscape music in hindsight. But if you like it and you haven't listened to a lot of soundscape music, I understand. I get it. If you like it, even if you have listened to a lot, I also get it, because the lyricism and everything like that outside of the soundscape spots are remarkable. Like, beyond incredible. I actually wrote the word legendary. Like, this is the way that she can create a story is... I can't name another artist that I think I appreciate the storytelling along with the vocals. And then again, the song structure too. I cannot name another artist that I think does it better off the top of my head. I really can't. I'd have to dig really, really deep to try to find somebody who can create that kind of a story, that kind of lyricism, that kind of a structure, and put it all together better than what Hayden has done as Ethel Cain. That's without question. So, minus these insane breaks, these giant instrumentals, this could have been like a 10 out of 10 album for me. With them, though, and because of how infuriating they are, it just isn't. So I gave this, like I mentioned, the way that I felt about Molly Tuttle, where I felt the exact opposite, where I thought her musicality was so incredible, and her lyricism and her vocals ended up being what kind of brought it down, and her song structure being very oversimplified. This also is an 8-1 for me.
There you have it.
Yeah.
I get it.
That's the big one.
I mean,
I
that's
want you to
pretty
listen
good,
to like
yeah.
Brian Eno, like genuinely.
I will.
Just dive in and just be like, cool. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna throw on. Just look up like just look up whoever ranked best Brian
I
Eno
had
albums and just throw one on and just be
I
like.
had every intention of doing it yesterday, and then I had ended up having to work a lot more than I thought I was
we
going to
talked
have
about
to.
that. Yeah, 100%.
So
But
I have to.
and
yeah.
Aphex Twin has been doing a lot more recent stuff. So like Aphex Twin is nice if you want something that's a little bit more in the last little bit. Brian Eno's best work was more like in the 90s kind of area, and somebody in the comments probably going to roast me on for saying that too. But like Aphex Twin has been doing more recent stuff, so you'll get a little bit more modern. But again, nothing's going to... The other part too that you're going to struggle with, I think, Mel, when you're listening to atmospheric music, and Bob too, is if it's not this atmosphere, you might not like it too. Like, that's the tough thing with atmospheric music, is you might specifically like one vibe of atmospheric music.
Yeah.
I try to dive into all different types, so you might listen to a Brian Eno album and you're like, I don't really like this, but that has more to do with the vibe than it does the actual instrumentation, the musicality of it. So that's
I get it.
where it gets a
That's
little
my
bit
argument
tough too,
here,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of why. That's why I like this. What Ethel Cain's doing.
She sets such a mood.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, such a mood.
You will.
Yeah.
It's a
It doesn't have to
specific
be
mood.
good,
All of them set
but
such a
Yeah.
mood. I think
works.
some of the other moods, they some of them set moods better, but if it's
Yeah.
not the right mood, then it's
just depends. Yeah.
exactly. So
Yeah.
that's the whole thing. But yeah, that's our review of our Spotlight album. Willoughby Tucker, I Will Always Love You.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't remember what that is. But yeah, are we right? Are we wrong? Let us know in the comments section. Please, tell us how you feel about it. Do you like atmospheric music? Do you think Ethel does a good job at it? Do you have suggestions for Mel, which she should listen to from Brian, if you were to give a suggestion? Please tell us all about it. We want you to know, and make sure you hit subscribe. It's the best way to find out where we're doing whenever we post our album and our song reviews. And this takes us to the end of the podcast, which means that we're going to kind of let you know what are we going to be covering on the next episode, which is obviously pretty important. We've got coming up, because it is the Labor Day long weekend, we did kind of have to shorten things up. It's tough. We've got a lot of people that are trying to manage schedules and trying to make things work. So we're actually only going to do 2 albums on the next one, but I think they're both bangers. Big fan myself of the bedroom pop, chamber pop Sweetheart Laufey, dropping her new album on the 22nd of August with A Matter of Time. And then, of course, the highly anticipated follow-up sophomore release of Little Miss Sabrina Carpenter.
Really
debated album cover, Man's Best Friend, on its way out. Basically, Sabrina Carpenter was the focus of the internet for a little bit in terms of who to get mad at, until American Eagle and what's-her-face decided to... What was her name?
Sydney Sweeney.
Sydney Sweeney. There we go. Yeah, thank you. Sydney Sweeney decided to also somehow offend everybody.
Yeah. Or not. Or, who knows?
There's a lot of people that are really pumped about her ad, too. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you're pumped for the wrong reasons, you're an asshole. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it was...
Agreed.
We don't need to get into it. I thought it was a relatively innocent ad without the connotations that brought with it. But if you start going well, now we've got a different problem. Now, you're also you're gross. So stop being gross about it. You know what I mean? Sometimes an ad just meant to be an ad to sell jeans. It had nothing to do with anything racial.
Yeah.
Heaven forbid. And you guys, both sides made it about that. That's on you. But we'll leave it there. That's not our thing. Because we're going to talk about Sabrina Carpenter instead, who just wanted to wear a leash. That's fine.
She's into kinky
probably has
shit, guys.
jeans, too.
Leave her alone. She's not making music for kids.
Heaven
Stop taking them
forbid.
to your concerts.
Absolutely.
Regardless, with Man's Best Friend. So we're going to be covering those two. But yeah, let us know what your thoughts are in the comments. Let us know how you feel. And we'll go from there. That's another wrap-up, though, from On Beat Off Script, episode 16 in the books. My name's Brandito. I'm joined by Mel and Bob. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
Hell yeah.
Love you, cuties. See you guys.
3, 2, 1.